Hello, folks. How are you? I think I'm live. Just make sure that I see me here. Oh, I do. I do. And so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle me out. So there we go. Okay. Hi, folks. How are you? When you hop on, tell me that you are here and say hi to me this Saturday morning. So I'm Amanda with Simply Flamazing Art, the Creative Course Collab, and the curator for the Creative Curiosities Paper and Notions Pack. Today, I am so excited to be hosting this event in the Crafty Bunch. Hey, Christy, how are you? I am so excited to be hosting this in the Crafty Bunch. This is Paint with the Crafty Bunch event hosted by me. And so we have some incredible members of the Crafty Bunch, plus a special guest who are joining us today who are going to be painting some sunflowers. And so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So we're going to do a variation of this. I don't know if that's right for you or backwards for you. I don't know how my camera is presenting itself, but I'm going to put it on this because I want to put this in my art journal. You're enjoying your coffee. Yes, I had my coffee earlier. Much needed, right? I don't know if you're like me, but it's a much needed morning for me is coffee. Like not much happens before the coffee. I even have a t-shirt. Well, it's like a pajama top that says, but first coffee. Anyway, tell me if you're here watching, are you in the Crafty Bunch? And if the answer is yes, yay. If the answer is no, then you need to be in the Crafty Bunch. So it's a Facebook group. You can go, you can join it. It's free. There's so many amazing creatives in there who are doing stuff all the time. If you love to just do all the things all the time, that's where you need to be, hanging out there. I'll put down just a little bit of cream. I don't know if I'm going to use that. And I'm going to put down a little white. I've got a little yellow, a little orange, a little brown, two browns, a black, and a white down for now. I can zoom out just a little bit. Maybe I can just move my... There we go. Now you can kind of see my palette plate. And you can still see this. Yes, I know. I understand fully, right? I understand that fully. I'm using Pentart Creamy Acrylics. I really like that. So when you hop on, say hi. Tell me that you're here. Tell me that if you're in the Crafty Bunch. If not, we would love for you to come over there and join us. This event is actually happening in the Crafty Bunch. And it is going to be all day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern or 9 to 4 Central. And then if you live in a different time zone, you can figure that out because I'm time zone challenged. And if I keep it up, I'm going to show my challenge with the time zones that I have. So yellows are intrinsically, or in whatever word I'm looking for there, translucent. So you're gonna see through them. Good morning, Cheryl. I'm excited to see what you're gonna do. I am so excited for today. I have been looking forward to this day. Of course, any day I get to just paint with people, it is so fun. And if you're in the Crafty Bunch later today or after this, I will actually put a tracer of this up. I'll have an area where you can go and you can grab this and the supplies that I use, the colors that I used. You can use any paints. I do love these creamy acrylics. I love the way they paint on the paper. It doesn't bubble the paper or anything. It's not so wet that it bubbles the paper, and yet it's not so dry that it's like I do use a little water from time to time for flow. I'm just going into that yellow and that orange. Hey, Capri, good morning. Nice to see you. It's just regular paper. It's just like it's like it's not a true invoice, but that's what it's supposed to look like, vintage invoice, but it's not. It's just regular. It's kind of like printer paper. It's the consistency of printer paper. Just regular printer paper. That's what it feels like. Copy paper, that you just put in the printer. Got a little yellow and orange. I'm just grabbing both colors on my brush. I'm not mixing them on my palette other than just tapping down. I always like load my brush and then I tap it a little bit just to kind of keep it from being all bubbly up in my brush. And then we're just creating some sunflowers. Thank you. I've been doing this paper with my 20-minute paint with me. And so if you're new to my page, you can go like my page, follow my page if you love to paint. I do 20-minute paint with me Monday through Friday at lunchtime. We are, it's something I just started. We've gotten four pieces done. We'll be starting our fifth piece on Monday. It's super fun. We did the cutest little fall girl. You can go back and you can check it out on my YouTube page. And so we're just putting down the first layer. It is the same paper. It is the same paper that I use because I want to put it in my journal. I'm starting an art journal that's going to put all of my art in there because part of the 20 minutes of paint with me is to see if we get better. And we can't, if we've got like pieces all over and on all kind of stuff, it's hard to judge. Like, did we improve in the 100 hours? So the 20 minutes is based on the 100-hour rule, which states if you do something for 18 minutes a day, you'll be 95% better than anyone in your field. I reword that slightly because I'm not into being better than anyone in my field. I'm just into being better than I was yesterday, right? So I say if we do something for 20, just because it's an easy time, and we only do it Monday through Friday, so we do 20 minutes, and I say we'll be 95% better than when we started. And so, yay, Christy. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you caught some of those. You'll have to comment and let me know that you're out there. And if you are catching this on the replay, just say hashtag replay so I can say hi to you and I know you're there. You do pay attention. You do. All right, so I want to leave a gap here because this is where my butterflies are going to be coming up out of here. But before I go into those, we're going to do just a couple little coats more on our I want to make sure I can see a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow. If one is a little too orangey, I'm going to put a little yellow. If one's a little too yellowy, I'm going to put a little orange. I think I got pretty good little combo of the different colors. This is where not mixing and just putting the colors on your brush really come in handy, because then both colors come off, and then you also get that little mix. So it's a little trick I use a lot. It's actually a trick I teach when I do my paint parties too. I do local paint parties, And so it's a trick I teach them, just picking up those 2 colors or 3 colors, whatever it is, however many, but not mixing them. Okay. Now I'm going to go into a little of this cream because I want some light, right? You like that design? Thank you. Hey, Paula, how are you? I love your little girl. Your little girl is, Paula is painting with me, and her little girl is so super cute. So she started painting with me on my 20-minute paint with me, and her little girl is so cute. She posted a picture in the comments of my picture. Y'all have to go check it out and tell her how wonderful she did, because it's amazing. Her little girl. And y'all, I haven't given a tracer for that or nothing. So I just am like, walk you through all the steps. I keep putting my finger over my paint. We're just putting a little highlight on. I'm just using a little cream with that yellow and orange. Get a little bit of that and a little bit of those. You love paint parties. Yes, they're so fun. They are so fun. I did one this week on Wednesday with the Salvation Army. That was a lot of fun. They wanted to do something with their residents. You know, they have a tough life. You know, I mean, like, tough things have happened to them, and they reached out asking if I would be willing to do like a therapy night with them, and I was like, absolutely. And so we had that on Thursday or Wednesday, sorry. And it was so much fun. I enjoyed it. And they had a blast, and their paintings turned out so cute. So we give it a little white in there. We lighten them up a little bit. You had a 3-day marathon. Wow. That does sound like it was a lot of fun. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. So we're going to put in a little dark now. I'm going to go back to those colors. You notice I'm putting those yellows and those oranges in my brush just so it's hanging out in my brush. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of this tan. I got the cream out because I don't want the cream in there. I want it to be a little darker. So I don't want to fight that light. So I'm going to do the same thing. Load a little bit of that tan, a little bit of those colors. And then I want to just focus where I want a little bit of a shadow. This is just like a subtle. Hey, Roberta, I hope I'm getting this right. I'm starting to remember business names and people's names. And you're going to be in this event later today. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see what you do. Me and names, guys, just know it takes me a hot minute with names. Faces, I will always remember your face. Like, if I see your face and then like I see you years later, it's like I might take me a minute to like remember where I know you from, like the connection, but I know you. Now I may not remember your name, but it's like I know your face. It takes me a hot minute to especially when it's like a lot at one time. It takes me a hot minute to remember all the names and faces and or the names to the face. I remember the face, but to get the name right. So we're just look like one shade or so, kind of like we did on this, just a shade or so darker. We're not looking to like go too dark right now. We just want to put some depth in. I do too. I don't know what it is. It's just I struggle with names. Faces I do not struggle with. Like I'll be like, I know you. And I actually run into people and been like, I know you. I know you. I just don't know where I know you from. And then we usually like figure it out. People are probably like, that girl, she's weird. But I always worry like somebody will be like, oh well, she knows me and she just walked right by me and didn't even say hi. And I don't want to be like that. I'd rather be like, I know you, and I just can't think of your name. Just coming into a little bit of that yellow. I just want to brighten it up a little bit. Make sure we didn't get too dark too quick. I want to stay on that bright sunflower color. We're going to add in another color in a minute that's going to be like, what? And I'm hoping it goes. I'm hoping it works. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. You sound like me most days when I'm not painting on paper and I'm trying to do something. It's like I pull out 5 things and be like, I could do this, I could do that. We'll go paint the center of our sunflower in. I'm very much that way too. And usually by the time I settle on something, I'm that way of like what to paint to. I've usually like pulled like 20 inspirational pictures. I did something similar to this one on canvas and I loved it so much. That I wanted to do one and put it in my art journal. And so now I'm going to use a little bit of this brown that I've got going. I'm going to water it down with a little water to get it thin. And then I'm going to come in here where we kind of like the petals meet. And I'm just going to give a little darker. I want to set these petals, right? To where it's like it's coming out from underneath. Where there's one hanging out underneath, I'll add a little more darkness to that. Y'all, I'm a big finger painter. I don't really like paint a whole painting with fingers, but you'll see me get my finger in there and like smooth out something that, and I really like doing it when I use the water to kind of like do a wash because it just softens it and it allows it to blend in where I want it. And we start to separate out those petals. Dark pushes back, light pulls forward. So if I want to set something, I want to make it darker. I tend to go lighter first and then go darker. But it doesn't really matter which way you go. And sunflowers, you almost can't get them wrong. Because if you look at sunflowers, they got all kind of colors in them. There's sunflowers of all kind of colors. They are wonderful tools. You want to do sunflowers too? Well, paint along with us. Grab your paints. I know you've got them. I know you've got those paints. I'm going to grab a little bit of black. And I'm going to come in. Again, I want to set this. I'm doing a thicker line here at the bottom. And I'm going to do a thin line or a thinner line. I'm not lining it, but a thinner line at the top half because I want that to look round. Hey, Linda. Yes, Virginia girl. That's right. I am from Virginia. I think, I know you said where you're from. Was it in the Newport News area? I'm confused. Anyway, I probably shouldn't remember. I shouldn't try to remember stuff like that because I don't remember stuff like that. And it takes me a minute. I know you said you're from Virginia though. I remember thinking you were near water, so that's why I kind of think that. Me too, yeah. Norfolk, Virginia Beach. Oh, sorry. I thought you said you were near water. Or I remember when you said it thinking, oh, she's near the beach. We'll give a little light in there to our sunflower. Ooh, we're doing good. Okay. So now what I want to do is we're going to start to put in some of our butterflies. And then we're going to put a little special color on. So we're just freehanding some butterflies, guys. And so it's probably not going to be perfect. And that's okay. My butterflies tend to like grow on me. And I don't mean like liking them. I mean just like they tend to get bigger as I go. The wings get bigger because I like have to like, equal them up. It's kind of like cutting the leg off of a chair or a table to shorten it. By the time you're done, you got a really short table because getting them all even and stuff. It's the same thing. By the time I get my wings even, my butterfly has like grown twice the size than I wanted it. My freehand butterflies, that is. But I also have an idea for this. I can't find it. I searched for it last night. I know I have it. So I'm gonna find it. I haven't used it in forever, so it's probably packed away somewhere. But I have a butterfly punch. And plus I have like a cricket and I have butterfly die cuts and stuff like that. So if I can't find it, there's a way that, like I'm going to do it. But I think it would be fun to punch out a few small butterflies and just add them on top. And it's basically an X. Just kind of, if you're freehanding a butterfly, just kind of like think about an X. And just kind of give it a little like frail out. But give those wings a little Yeah, to give dimension, yes. You had the same problem with your leaves yesterday? Yeah, sometimes I have that problem with my leaves too when I do leaves. They tend to grow. But it's okay. Give yourself grace. I'm big on giving myself grace and being like, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the best that I can do, right? And but I think it would be fun to have the three-dimensional butterflies added on to these because it's going to be like coming up out of this. It's like our petals just turned to butterflies. Now, the one I did on a canvas did not have the butterflies. But I thought this is so perfect for this, with the saying and all of that. I don't know if I'm going to put that on here. I may. I mean, it's kind of important to me. Now, they have some that are just like the little like background and it just has line. That's kind of fun too. We may put a few of those in also. But how cute is that going to be, guys? And anyone, I mean, whether you have a tracer or not, you don't really need a tracer. Just do some petal-like shapes going around. Leave a little space for your butterflies to fit in there. And then just randomly paint some butterflies. Randomly paint some butterflies. Need a little more yellow. But I'm going to see if I can do like a little outline. Because I kind of like it. Not crazy about that one, but that's okay. If you don't like it, guess what? Paint over it. Good morning, Bev. How are you? I'm excited to see what you're going to do in today's event. Bev is in today's event. I'm so excited to be part of the Crafty bunch, guys. It's been a great, met so many people. I'm looking forward to doing these events and meeting more and more. It is Pentart Creamy Acrylics. That is what I'm using. I really like them. The only thing I do not like about them, and I'm gonna talk to Teresa about this. Teresa with Decoupage Queen is where I'm a supplier for her, and so I carry, the rice papers, etc., and the Pentart products, which I absolutely love Pentart products. The only thing I don't like about these, and maybe it's to me because I get heavy-handed when I put my paint out, is that it gets yucky. And that's the only thing that I don't like about these paints is that. I'm sure if you're neater about putting your paint out and you don't just like blob it down like I do, it probably doesn't happen. But guys, it's life. I'm not that neat. I mean, I'm busy. I got a million things going on. I ain't got time to like be neat about it when I like am live and I'm putting my stuff out. So, it is what it is. And I try to be neat. I do try. And I am very funny about things. But I also can be very like I just need it out. Like I don't want to fight with it. Have you seen those TV shows or like my husband watches like a lot of Animal Planet and nature shows and things like that. Have you seen like the butterfly one where all those like butterflies come off of like I don't know where they are, maybe in like somewhere in Brazil. I don't know exactly. But like all of the monarchs coming off of the tree. This is what that reminds me of, seeing all these like keep a damp sponge in place on white before closing. That'd probably be a really good idea. Yours do that too? I'm glad I'm not the only one. Capri, sometimes that is true. Your liquid text does that too. Yeah. Yeah, me too. And it's just like, like I got more worries in life than like that. I'm gonna send this one off that way, maybe. You know, I do wish their container was a little bit different, but I really like it's not gonna make me stop using their paints. We got a half hour. Okay. Wow, we painted a lot in 30 minutes, haven't we? We've been rolling it. I hope to see y'all's if you decide to do this. It's a fun painting. It really is. And I'm just doing my wings different ways. It doesn't have to be perfect. All my butterflies are big. I don't have any little ones. Maybe I'll try a little one. A baby butterfly. I have a butterfly bush in my yard, and it's one of my favorite things. My husband threatens every now and then to like cut it down. And of course we do it winter. We cut it all the way down. Because it grows back from the ground, grows big. And it in his defense, it got paint planted in the wrong place. I did not realize how big they got. And I put it in the flower bed that's like beside my sidewalk. And like now it's so big, we tie it up because it just comes over and like you have to move it to walk past it. So when it gets to that point where you have to like move it to walk past it, we tie it so you can walk down the sidewalk to the front door. I should have planted it a little further away. Whatever. I wanted to be able to see it. I don't have that many visitors. The only person that it probably bothers is Amazon delivery. They're the only one, and the USPS postman. They will come up and put stuff on my front porch. The rest of the deliveries just put it by the garage door and are like, that's close enough. So Amazon puts it on my porch, and so does the post office. Wipe it on the apron. Yes. Yes. I have done that. We're going to just fill this up, guys. Put as many butterflies as you want on yours. I'm loving them. So I'm just putting a whole bunch. And we're not going to do much detail to them other than just like that. And, you know, some look a little more like plus signs than butterflies, but that's okay. We can fix that. That one right there was looking a little more plus signy than butterfly-y. And so that's a technical term, butterfly-y. Just so y'all know. I'm going to throw out some technical terms. In my paint parties, we throw out technical terms too. We had the blobby blobs and the scrubby scrubs. That's right, scrubby scrub and the blobby blobs. Isn't that so adorable? Even if I say so, but I love this so much. The inspiration I just love so much. So I hope this inspires you. I hope today inspires you to paint. Because whether you painted before or not, you can paint. And it doesn't matter. Pick up a paintbrush or not. Ever pick it up and you can paint. And don't be like, oh, well, I can't draw. You don't have to draw. I can't draw either. I can't draw near as well as I paint. And people who watch me live can attest that sometimes I'll just be like trying to draw something out and it not working. And I'm just like, do it live. Meaning grab a paintbrush and paint. Yes. Thank you, Dee. All right, so we're going to move on from that. We've got our butterflies in there, and I'm liking them. And so I'm going to just go into a little bit of this brown. Now that this is kind of dry, I'm going to go into a little bit of this brown. And I'm just going to just randomly put some dots up on our petals, just right there, kind of near the where the center comes in. Just a few little dots. Just going to work around. Now you're going to see sunflowers of all types today, I'm sure. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all of the different sunflowers that we see. I'm also going to just come in here and put some of the dots too. And then I'm going to pull out a surprise color. I told y'all that surprise color is coming. You can see this is the blobby blob. I'm just like blobbing down my brush. Whatever. Right? However big, however much, it doesn't matter. Just want to get the little dots in there. My surprise color. Oh, thank you, Christy. We got oranges and yellows, but a surprise color is coming. And I showed y'all the color. It's called Sky Blue. It's kind of like a little bit, kind of a little aqua. It's got a little aqua in there. Sorry, I was reading something that came up on my thing. It was like a calendar invite, and I'm like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's for this event, for the next person." It's telling me. Now, I don't want to go thick, so I'm using a little water. And I'm just washing on a little bit of this blue. That's my first step. I'm just kind of like introducing it into my painting, right? You can barely see the blue, but you can kind of see it a little bit. You see that? You can kind of see a little bit of it. I'm going to go pick up a little more blue and a little less water. And then I'm just going to kind of go back where I was introducing it and hit it just a little bit more on top of where I was introducing it. So what that's going to do is it's going to give me just a little more blue in that area. You could probably do this with a dry brush technique also. I'm just using a little wash technique. So there's a couple ways that you could do this, but I'm just using a little water technique. And that way I don't have to scrub so hard, because it just washes on. Now you can see that blue hanging out in there a little bit more. I'm going to do the exact same thing. A little too much water. All right, come on. Like the water wants to hang out in this brush. Big time. I'm just going to do a few. I'm not going to do many. Just a few. Just a few, just so it's not like just here and not in our butterflies, since our butterflies are the same color, because basically our butterflies are just petals that turn to butterflies, right? Now the question is, do we do the words? Or do we just leave it like this? Or something like this? We're not entirely done, but y'all tell me, words or no words, as I put on my black details. So I'm going in black. I'll see if this brush gives me what I want, or if I want to switch brushes. I think I'm going to switch brushes before I do that. I do want these lines to be thin. You're a word, use words. Okay, I'm a word nerd, so I say words. All right. I'm going to use just a little black, and I'm going to just separate out some of these petals. Just go separate out. Word. Love the touch of color. The little hint of that blue. I think it makes a difference. Separate out some of those petals and make it like, just give a little something something to it, right? And put a little darker line at that bottom. Just go circle it so it pops it a little bit. Just doing a little. Just a little bit on a few of them. I'm not going to do it on all of them. Ooh, oh. I thought I had wrote on my page, guys. I was like, wait a minute, where'd that black come from? But that was the wording that was just on the page. I was like, wait a minute. Just a few. Just a few of them. Not all of them. I think so too. I'm kind of loving it also. And I usually am a canvas girl. All right. So we've got like 14 more minutes. Let's brave the words, guys. So I am going to use a pencil and I'm going to write. Hey, Elizabeth. Yay. How are you? Been a hot minute. So let's see. Let's see if we can get this fancy lettering in here. Okay. I will tell you, lettering is not my thing. I'm not very good at it. I want to be good at it. I would like to be good at it. I'm just not as good as I would like to be. But you know what they say, practice makes perfect, right? I don't know about perfect, but it definitely makes better. So we'll go with that. Okay, God says you are. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. I'm not gonna write the like where it came from. I'm just gonna write the words. And so like precious. I mean, in all truthfulness, this is why I love this piece and why I really want this to be in my I mean, I love the sunflowers, yes, but I really love that, this is what God says about us. Um, unique. Right? He says we are lovely. I'm trying to do this fancy writing, so I'm copying it as best to my ability. That's why I'm like, there's lovely. And then forgiven. All right, let's see if I can get. I'm going to put strong here, forgiven there, and chosen there, I think. Because I think I can get strong here easier than I can get forgiven. Forgiven is a long word. Um, okay. And I'll put forgiven up here on this one. Ooh, Lordy. I don't know if I have time to paint all of these. We'll see. I got 10 minutes. And then chosen goes here. I almost like wrote the wrong thing, guys. That would have been bad. Okay. Whew. All right. So we have that. Brush lettering 20 minutes a day. Yes, that's what I'm going to have to do. Exactly. You're going to have to be like, where's your brush lettering today? I don't know if I want this one or this other one. We'll see. We'll see how I do with this one. And if I don't like this one, I'll switch. Oh, I don't want... Well, I do want black. I should have just gone with it, but I want white in the middle. White in the middle. So a little water helps. Not too much water because we don't want to thin our paint too much. We just want it to come off. Use a paint pen. Yeah, that probably would be a good idea. I don't have one handy. I don't use a whole lot of paint pens, so I don't tend to have them handy. So we're gonna go with the paintbrush and just hope it goes well. It's gonna go just fine. What does the Crafty brother say? It's fine. I'm saying for me. Oh, yeah, for you. Yeah. Well, for a lot of people, it probably would be. For me, too. Downward strokes, I'm putting some pressure so I get that nice thick line. And upward strokes, I'm using no pressure whatsoever. In fact, just barely touching. Now this is going to dry back a little bit. So be prepared for that. Everything dries back. So it's going to be bold at first and then it's going to dry back. And you're not going to see it as bold as when you first put it on. So just know that that's going to happen. My R there is not the greatest. But you can still read what it says. And so I might have to go over that. I might have to search out, see if I have something here, a pen or something. I don't know. I don't know. Got 6 minutes, so I'm not going to finish all my words, but I will finish them before I post the picture. I don't think I can finish in 6 minutes. Mama P, Cheryl with Mama P's Crafty Creations is actually next up. You don't really have to do anything if you're in the I'm like, did I spell that right? I did. I got too much water going. I just put it awful close together. You don't have to do anything if you're in the Crafty Bunch group, but just refresh and you will see her live in a few minutes. Note to self, Amanda, if you're going to paint letters, don't draw them so close together. That's a note to myself. That's unique and precious. And then here comes lovely. And strong. Thank you so much. And then forgiven. We might make it, guys. I just got a couple more minutes, but we're racing. And chosen. Whoo! Yes, you can watch this on replay later. You absolutely can. It's going to be there for you. We've got 2 minutes. And what I'm going to do with those 2 minutes is, first off, let me go grab Cheryl and put her in the group. Oop. Okay, there we go. And then when I have like 1 minute left, I'm going to grab the white and I'm going to go over this again, because remember I told you it dries back. And so Cheryl will be on, and she's on. You just need to refresh and you will see her. She's going to be painting something amazing. I'm sure. I can't wait to see what she paints. I'm just basically hitting this one more time just so it pops a little more. And there we go. Yes, you can go watch the replay, but there is this, and it's 11, so I'm gonna hop off. Y'all refresh. You will find Cheryl if you're in the Crafty Bunch. If you're not, you can go join that page for free. It's a group, and you can go join it and you can catch everyone. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the comments. Bye.